Welcome to MTC Creative Kitchen, where he bakes, creates delicious dishes, and blend refreshing juices.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. It's indeed a pleasure to see you all again. For today, I will doing a quick and easy recipe, and that would have been curry connect with vegetables, green bananas, dumpling, yam, and sweet potato. You don't want to miss this, guys, so please stay tuned. I'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. So here I have approximately 2.5 pounds of turkey neck that I did cut to reasonable size, clean up, and wash with lime juice and vinegar. I know you'll be wondering, why am I using lime juice and vinegar at the same time? No, let me explain that to you. With the lime juice and the vinegar, it reduces the level of bacteria and cuts the rawness. So that's why I use both of them. And both of them make the perfect combination. So I will definitely recommend you use both of them whenever you're washing any form of meat. After washing the meat, I'm just gonna apply the Maggi all-purpose season. Now guys, I've used other seasoning in the past, but from ever since this season was recommended to me by a friend to try, I am hooked, and I assure you that this season is really one of the best season on the market, the Maggi all-purpose season. It goes well with anything, chicken, fish, pork, beef, anything. After applying the Maggi all-purpose season to the meat, I'm gonna go with the Dash season. Now the Dash season was a season that I came across when I went to the grocery store. It has herb and garlic within it, and I assure you both of them goes well together. Here I have 4 cloves of garlic that I'm peeling the strips from off of it, and when I'm finished I'm going to wash them off and slice them up, and I will just add it to the meat and season it. However, just to let you know that I'm a garlic lover, and to me the more garlic is the merrier. Furthermore, I like to use my garlic to make my tea, and when I'm blending my jerk season I use plenty garlic in it as well. Even when I'm cooking my rice and peas, or even when I'm just about cooking any form of meat, I love my garlic. Guys, here I am demonstrating on how I cut the garlic. Now I'm doing this individually, and my knife is sharp, so I'm being extremely careful. Now guys, you don't have to do it this way. You can do it the other way. If you wanna, use a food processor and cut up your garlic, you can do so. But I'm doing it the old-fashioned way, and this is how I like doing it. After cutting up the garlic, what I'm gonna do next is to apply the garlic to the container with the meat and the dry season, and then I am going to massage the meat and just ensure that it's properly massaged, massage thoroughly, because I want to ensure that every part of the meat has seasoning on it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I want it to be seasoned to the bone. So what I'm gonna do this for at least a few more minutes, as you can see, because I'm still rubbing it in. I just want to ensure that it's properly rubbed in, and then I am going to cover it and place it on the fridge and allow it to marinate for at least 2 days. 2 days is good enough, because this is just some turkey neck. So I'm gonna cover it, rest it on the fridge for at least 2 days, and allow it to marinate, and then I'll just get busy the day after. Alright guys, so as I said before, allow it to marinate for 2 days. However, you can allow yours to marinate for a day or a day and a half if you want to. It's up to you. I'm just doing it for 2 days. Okay, so I'm gonna light the stove and allow the pressure cooker to get hot. Alright, and then after allowing it to get hot, I'm gonna apply some oil. No, I won't be using too much oil, just a certain amount of oil. Okay, and then I'm gonna allow the oil now to get heated, because what I'm gonna do next, I'm going to apply a pack and a half of curry, right? Because then I'm cooking curry turkey neck, and you know, with the curry turkey neck, right, you want to make sure that you burn the curry before you can actually go ahead and cook it, right? That's the best way. Here's a pack of curry that I will be using. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna burst it up, and then I'm gonna pour the curry within the pressure cooker, right? I'm gonna allow it to burn. However, I'll be using a pack and a half based on the fact that I'm cooking 2.5 pounds of turkey neck, right? Now remember, guys, it depends on the amount of meat that you're gonna cook. It will require more curry, right? But then there are some curry that are stronger than some. So here I'm gonna add the half pot now, right? So that's a pack and a half, and I am going to allow it to burn, right? Now there's not a lot of oil within the container, so I'm just gonna hold a pot and just stir, you know, just to ensure that there's no lump within the curry, just to make sure that, you know, there's no gathering, right? So it burns right. After allowing the curry to burn, what I'm gonna do next is just to add the meat to the pressure cooker. Okay, so I'm just, as you can see, I'm putting them in one by one. However, the pot is extremely hot and the oil is splashing. As you can see, the steam that is coming out while I apply the meat within the container. Now I have to be careful, and luckily I have this tongue in my hand here, because then if I never had it, then maybe the oil will be splashing in my hands. So when you're doing this, you just want to be careful, okay? After adding the meat to the pressure cooker, what I'm gonna do next is to throw out whatever that's left within the container, within the pressure. So here I'm now scraping out the garlic in the pressure cooker. Okay, you know, as I said before, I love garlic, you know, so you want to ensure say all the garlic is scraped out the container and within the pressure cooker. So what I'm gonna do next is just to get some water from the faucet and just pour it within the pressure cooker. Now I won't be using too much water, okay, because I don't want to drown the meat. So I'm just going to apply a certain amount of water, right, and allow it to pressure. After allowing the meat to come to a boil, I'm just gonna cover it, and then I'm gonna put that small thing on top of it and just ensure that it's properly sealed, and I'm going to allow it to pressure for the next 5 minutes. Now guys, this pressure cooker I've had it for over 10 years and it is still going on strong. Here I have two lovely Irish potatoes that I am peeling. Now these Irish potatoes, I will be adding them to the pot, right? When I'm gonna cook down the turkey neck with the seasonings and everything. However, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna peel them. I'm gonna cut them down the middle, and then I'm gonna chunk them up, and then just add it to the pot and allow it to cook with the turkey neck. Then I'm gonna add my seasonings after, right? So the spirit be while I just continue to peel these Irish potatoes, and I'll just demonstrate on how I cut them up, because I'll be cutting them in chunks. After finished peeling the Irish potatoes, what I'm gonna do next is just to rinse them off, and then I am going to cut them down the middle, and then I will just dice them up. Right now, I'm gonna dice them up. They won't be too big, just reasonable sizes. Okay, so just stay tuned and just continue watching. If you guys notice, I'm using a small knife to cut up the Irish potato. However, you could use a big knife if you want to, but with the small knife, it's more handy to me. So that's why I rather to use a small knife to do this instead of the big knife. The Irish potato is now finished cutting up, and it's in a bowl, and I'm gonna place it aside until I'm ready before I can add it to the pot with the meat. After cutting up the Irish potatoes, I'm just gonna cut up the seasoning, and here I have some scallion. We call them scallion here. However, maybe in your country you call them a different name. Some people call them green onions. So I'm just cutting them up right now. Now I won't be cutting these too small, but I'm cutting them to a reasonable size, as you can see. After cutting up the scallion, what I'm gonna do next is just to cut up some Scotch bonnet pepper. And the pepper that I'm cutting up, the seeds are within it, because I like my meat to have a little kick to it. You understand me? So with the seeds, it makes it more hotter. So I'm using 1.5 of Scotch bonnet pepper. However, they are not big. It's a small Scotch bonnet pepper. So as you can see, I'm using 1.5. After cutting up the scallion, what I'm gonna do next is just to cut up some sweet pepper. Now, with the sweet pepper, I have 3 different colors here. I have the green, the yellow, and the red. And I'm not using half. I'm using 1/4 of each, based on the fact that I have, these pieces of sweet pepper here, and this should be enough to cut up. So next I'm going to cut up the yellow sweet pepper, and I am cutting them to reasonable sizes, as you can see. Now guys, you see, when you're cooking meat, right, you don't need to apply your seasoning to the meat while you're seasoning it up at the same time. What you need to do is just to add your dry season. You can add a piece of pepper and a few cloves of garlic to it. Then you just rub it up and let it marinate. And then when you cook your chicken, or halfway cook your chicken, then what you can do is just to apply the rest of seasoning to it. Because then remember that you want your seasoning to look stand out, right? You don't want to cook down your seasoning while you're cooking the chicken at the same time. It doesn't work that way. You want to make sure that you're putting the seasoning, when the chicken is like 3/4 way almost finished cooking, you just add your season to it, and add the rest of stuff that you want to add to it, and allow it to finish cook. So that means your season will always look standing out within the pot. Next on the agenda, I'm gonna be cutting up half of an onion, not one onion, half, because there's a lot of seasoning that I have here on the meat board, so half is good enough. Alright guys, so here's a view of all the seasoning that I have here in the bowl. So as you can see, I have my thyme, I have onion, bell peppers, and I also have ginger, and I'll be adding a few pimento berries as well. So just stay tuned and you'll see the full 100 of what's going on. Alright guys, now the pressure cooker is now cool, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open it and just give you a preview of what it looks like when it's pressured. Now guys, check out the view guys. Guys, look at this. Oh my god, the view is so spectacular. It's not even finished as yet guys. This is just the pressuring process. And Natilla said it has a nice aroma. Guys, it smells so delicious. I can't wait to dive in when it's finished. It's time to get the bar rolling. So I'm gonna take out the meat from within the pressure cooker and place them within the Dutch pot, right? And I'm using a big spoon. Now this spoon, it has some holes in it. Okay, so I'm using it. It's big enough to take up at least 3 to 4 pieces, and it actually, you know, speed the process, so it goes faster than just use a spoon that's gonna take up 1 piece or 2 pieces. After placing a good amount of meat in the Dutch pot, I'm just using this big spoon to make space in order to put the balance within there, because then I don't want them to be too, you know, closed up. I want to make sure that there's spaces between them. Okay, so this should be the last of it. Right, so this is the last of it, and that's it. So what I'm gonna do next is just to pour out what was in the pressure cooker within the Dutch pot. Alright guys, so here's a preview of the meat bubbling within the pot. Now I'm going to allow it to, you know, cook for at least 5 minutes before I go ahead and add the Irish potatoes to it. Now, why I said I'm gonna allow it to cook for 5 minutes, reason being is because when I did pressure the meat, I pressured it for 5 minutes, right? And that's how I normally do it, because then I don't want the meat to be pressured too soft. Okay, if it's pressured too soft, then it's gonna mash out by the time I'm supposed to cook it down. So what I normally do is just pressure it for 5 minutes, and that's good enough just to tenderize it a little, and then I'll just finish to cook it down. Now guys, you do not have to pressure your turkey neck, you know, right? You can cook it down if you want to, but the thing about it is that, you know, when you're cooking it down, you're gonna have to be continuing throwing water on it, right? So it's gonna take a longer while. So for me, what I do, I just allow it to pressure for 5 minutes, and then, you know, I'll just finish cook it down while I'm adding, you know, the vegetables and seasoning to it. That's just how I do it. But then, you know, you may probably do it different, you know, you may probably do it different from how I do it, but this is just my method. You know what I mean? I try to, you know, cut time, you know, yeah, and energy. After allowing the meat to cook down for 5 minutes, what I'm gonna do next is just to add the Irish potatoes. So I'm just using my spoon to make space, and then I'm gonna apply the Irish potatoes within. Now I'm gonna use my spoon and stir, because I don't want the Irish potatoes to be on top of the meat. I want everything to combine, so I'm just ensuring that the Irish potatoes are within the sauce and not on top of the meat. After adding the Irish potatoes to the pot, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cover it and let it cook for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna add my seasoning to the pot, and that's my onion, my thyme, garlic, ginger, bell pepper, and scotch bonnet pepper. And I'm going to be adding a few pimento berries as well. After adding the seasoning to the pot, I'm just using my spoon and to scatter the seasoning because I don't want to have too much seasoning gathered in one area. So I'm just using my spoon just to scatter the seasoning within the pot. Guys, I'm giving y'all a preview of what's going on within the Dutch pot. You know, the meat a bubble and thing, and as you can see, the seasoning, you know, along with the Irish potatoes and the pimento berries and the ginger, along with the turkey neck. Guys, if you guys could just only smell what I'm smelling, yo, I mean, it is smelling so delicious, you know, and I can't wait to dive in. I really can't wait. Guys, I don't want to seem like I'm exaggerating, but you see, when I tell us that the things smell good, the things smell good, I'm not a liar. You know what I mean? And me take time for the thing proper, you know what I mean? And you will see it for yourself too, but I tell us, you have to just tell you straight up so the things smell nice. And for me say it smell nice, it just smells nice because the herbs and the garlic and everything, yo. Right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna adjust the flame from high to medium heat and allow it to simmer, you know, and then after it simmers down to a certain level, then I'm gonna adjust it down to the lowest flame possible, and then just allow it to just take its own time and form its gravy, and then it'll be ready in a few minutes. The turkey neck is now complete. Guys, check out the look. Guys, with all the seasoning and the vegetables, guys, and the ginger, the pimento seed, and the turkey neck, guys. Yo, the thing shot me at, you know, and I can't wait to dive into it, and it smells good too. The curry turkey neck is now finished, so what I'm going to do next is just to light the fire and allow the water within the pot to come to a boil. However, I'm going to need some flour, so I'm just going to add some flour to the bowl that you're seeing here. Now I'll be adding approximately, say, 3.5 scoops or so. Now guys, after adding the flour to the bowl, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna add some cornmeal, right? Now when making flour, I can't make just the plain straight flour just like that. I had to really add some cornmeal to it, you know. So after adding the cornmeal, then I will be mixing up it, you know, just to ensure that it's mixed thoroughly, if you understand what I mean, because that's how it works. So here I have my water. Right here I have 1 cup of water, and I'm gonna get a spoon because I'm gonna use a spoon to mix it because I don't really want to get my hands all messy as yet. So I'm gonna use a spoon now to blend the cornmeal along with the flour, as you can see that I'm doing. And then I'll be getting the water, and I'm gonna pour just a little in the middle. No, you don't want to pour too much, right? Because you don't want to spoil. You don't want to spoil it. So what you're gonna do is just to add a little water, and then you stir. You add some more water to it again, and then you stir. That's the process. If you add too much water at once, what's gonna happen is that you're gonna spoil the mixture, and you don't want that. You don't really want that. You understand me? Yeah, for real. So you just do it, step by step. You just add a little water, then you use a spoon to, blend the flour along with the caramel and the water, because the water helps it to combine. Alright? So as you can see, I'm working the spoon. The spoon is really working very hard, because if I was using my hands would be all messy. So I try to use the spoon first. And when I use the spoon first, and when it reaches a certain point, then I can just place the spoon down and then go with my hands. Now, my hands are clean, right? Because when I'm kneading flour, my hands have to be definitely clean, and my nails are cut, right? So there's nothing that's going to be beneath my nails or my hands being unclean. My hands are clean. After I finish mixing the flour, what I'm gonna do next is just to clean out the spoon, and then I'm gonna go in with my hands and then finish kneading the flour. Okay, because it reaches the point where the spoon cannot do anymore. I have to use my hands. And as I knead, I'll add more water, because then I want to ensure that it's not too tough. And you will know definitely when it needs the water and when not to add water, and the right amount of water that you're gonna add. So as you can see, I'm still adding water and I'm mixing with my hands. This is just a process that's, I don't want to really speed it up. I want to do it slow so you guys can really see what I'm doing, right? It's a step-by-step process, and I want you all to see what I'm doing. Guys, check out how the dough is forming, guys. It's slowly and surely forming, because as I said before, just add a little water and then you just continue to knead. You don't want to add too much water, because then if you add too much water, you're gonna spoil it. So just add a little water and then you knead it. Then you add a little more water if you need it. Then you just knead as you go, right? And then your dough will form the right way, how you need it. So just take your own time and do not rush it. And if you notice I'm doing it slow, because then I want y'all to catch on to what I'm doing and how I do it. Guys, my dough is almost complete. I'm just going to add a little more water to it. It kind of feels stiff, so I'm just going to add a little more water, and to ensure that it's kind of loose more, because then I don't want it to be too tight, if you understand me. So you add some more water to it just to reduce that tightness that it has. Even when I'm making fried dumplings, this is the same process that I have to go through with the whole kneading and so forth, and it takes time, but then you have to just understand. I want to say a special shout out to all my YouTube supporters, the new ones and the old ones that have been there with me. I just want to say thanks to you all. The journey has not been easy. But then because I have that determination and anything I set my mind to, I will accomplish it. So I just want to say thanks to y'all for the support and love. Without Uno, I don't think I would have made it this far. I really appreciate it. So blessings to y'all. Alright. The dough is almost complete, just a few more minutes to go before it's fully complete. Alright guys, now the dough is fully formed as you can see. So what I'm gonna do next is just to add approximately 1 teaspoon of salt to the pot of boiling water. Okay, and then I'm gonna draw the container with the dough closer, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stretch the dough in a sense, because then what I'm gonna do when I stretch it, I'm gonna break it piece by piece, and it will be reasonable size pieces, because then I don't want to make some bigger than some. Okay, and then I'm gonna be forming my dumplings and you will see. So just stay tuned and see. Now guys, if you're paying attention, you'll realize that there's a piece of dough within my hands. Alright, so I'm using my hands to form the dumpling. Then I'm gonna go with my finger and give it that shape that I'm looking for, and you will see the outcome because I'm gonna show you. Now check this out. Here it is. Here it is. Now, as I showed you the first one before, I'm just gonna continue do it the same way until all the dumplings are formed and placed within the pot. So just stay tuned. Now y'all probably do it different from how I do it, but when I do it this way, it turns out just fine. I'm finished adding the dumplings to the pot, so here I have a piece of yam that I'm peeling. However, this part of the yam is the dry part because it was cut before and placed in the fridge. So I'm just peeling off that area there where you can actually see that area has that dry substance right there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to cut the yam in two, right, with my big knife. As I said before, when I have big things to deal with, I use a big knife. When I have small things to deal with, I will just use a small knife. Okay, so then what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to peel the yam. Now, picture this, I'm using a small knife now to peel around the yam. Okay, now I could have used a big knife, but then why send use a big knife when the small knife is more handy to do this work. After peeling the yam, what I'm gonna do next is just to cut the yam down the middle, and then I am going to add them to the pot. Now guys, you have to be careful. Alright, now you see, even though I had the yam in the middle of my hand and I'm cutting with the knife. Now if you notice that when I'm cutting the yam, I was taking my own time, just working the knife down the middle, because I don't want the knife to slide through and cut me. As y'all can see that I'm repeating the same step as before. After adding the last piece of yam within the pot, then I am going to clean up that board, as in you take the yam skins off the board and place it in the garbage bin. Then I am going to peel my sweet potato. Now the sweet potato, it was a whole one, but what I did was to cut it in half, so I'm actually using half of it. You know that there's an old Jamaican say that man no fi eat sweet potato. I don't know why. However, I'm a lover of sweet potato, right? Not only do I like to cook it, but I also like to bake my sweet potato pudding. So that's just my thing. So regardless the Jamaican theory about eating sweet potatoes, you know, I'm all over it, so I'm just enjoying it. After finished peeling the sweet potato, what I'm gonna do next is just to rinse it off, because the outer part of the sweet potato, which is the skin, was really dirty and it's a mess. I'm just gonna rinse it off. After washing out the sweet potato, I realized there were some areas that was not peeled properly, so I'm just going to use a knife and just skim off it, as you can see, and then I will be cutting the sweet potato in two. No, I won't be cutting it in my hand because it's more harder to cut, so I'm going to rest it on the board and then just cut it. After adding the sweet potatoes to the pot, what I'm going to do next is just to get my green bananas and peel them. However, I won't be peeling too much banana because my daughter, she's not a fan of it. So I'm just peeling these 3 fingers just for myself only. Okay guys, just a word of advice that before you go ahead and peel bananas, just make sure that you have on gloves on your hand. Now if you don't have any glove, what you can do is just to apply some cooking oil in the palm of your hands and then rub it up, and then you can go ahead and peel the bananas. Now I wouldn't suggest that you're gonna peel the bananas with your naked hand without glove or oil, alright? Or it's gonna stain up. Your fingernails are gonna stain and it's gonna be like that for a while. So I would recommend that if you don't have a glove, just use some cooking oil. It works perfectly and it will get the work done without stain, alright? Okay guys, so all the ground provisions are now within the pots. I'm going to give you a preview of what's going on. As you can see, the dumplings and the bananas, but the yams are actually down to the bottom. So I'm going to allow the food to cook for the next 15 to 20 minutes. And then when I'm through, I'm going to give you a preview of what it looks like when it's finished cooked. Alright, so the food is now finished cooking. So I'm just giving you a preview because I said I was going to give you a preview of what it looks like when it's finished cooked. As you notice, there is no bubbling because the flame is off. So this is the finished look. Alright. Guys, it's been a pleasure to share with you what I do in my kitchen. However, please remember to like, share, comment, as well as subscribe and hit that notification bell and let it remain on all. That way you'll be notified whenever there's a next video available. Thank you for watching.